part of what they also raised while they make that perjury, because I've also heard some lawyers talk about it, they say in that affidavit which he signed, the second part when he said that all his academic records, I beg your pardon, his records are with the Secretary of the Military, with the Secretary of the Military, but we have a copy of that form to INEC.
All his records.
So he said in the affidavit. I mean, but they now said, but the statement, that press conference that he addressed the country with, he says that he had assumed all along that all his records were in the custody of the military secretary of the Nigerian army. And then he's surprised that it's not there. But if you say in an affidavit that my records are here, and it turns out that you say, well, I thought it was there and it's not there.
Ms. Chamberlain, if I say my records are here, my record is not just one certificate. My record is my certificates, my confidential reports, my diplomas, and I will just, if you don't mind, I will show you exactly what the military released to General Buhari. And it's so detailed to the extent that you begin to wonder, is it the same military that Lale represents that gave this? Because they had 8 anecdotes, sorry, they had 8 annexures. Its certificate, a statement of result, the report of his officers, of his instructors in India, in the USA, the letters written by his principal. These are all what are called records. Now, and I say again, if after 53 years, I don't know where I've kept one of my certificates, and the Army also says that in the 1960s, we were not in the habit of keeping academic certificates. Where is my perjury there? Okay, so I said my record. I didn't say one single certificate. And all the other records were released to him by the military secretary.
Okay, so now that, just a minute, now that these documents have been gotten, is he going to send them to INEC or what?
INEC had already, I think, and very wisely too, cleared him. Because what was the base of INEC allowing him to run in 2011? I think they used their common sense, and they were not really, swayed by all these theatrics of people who are desperate to make sure it does not run.
But again, Elijah, let me take you to Section 31 of the Electoral Act, because, I mean, we also did tell lawyers that they should show us where is the place that INEC has the powers to disqualify. The role of INEC, according to Section 31 of the Electoral Act, as amended, the sub-2, where it says the list or information submitted by each candidate shall be accompanied by an affidavit sworn by the certificate, sworn to by the candidate at the High Court of a state, indicating that he has fulfilled all constitutional requirements for election into that office. Then 3 says the Commission shall, within 7 days of the receipt of the personal particulars of the candidate, publish same in the constituency where the candidate intends to contest election. Then 4 says any person may apply for a copy and see. Then 5 says any person who has any reason on any reasonable grounds to believe that any information given by a candidate in the affidavit or any document submitted by that candidate is false may go to court. Nowhere that INEC has powers to say disqualify.
And why hasn't PDP gone to court?
No, but does INEC have powers to reject that document if they think it's not correct?
If they are not satisfied with what you have submitted, you will not be cleared.
Now, some people are already beginning to pick a bone with the certificate, and they are not quite sure that this certificate is genuine. They are wondering why it's issued under the, I don't know if you've seen that anywhere, that is beginning to come out now. They're saying, first of all, the Katsina state government wasn't existent as at the time, he went to school. They have a recent picture of the general there. Some even pick a bone with his name. The certificate has Mohammed Buhari, not Muhammadu Buhari, and they're wondering, just how you respond to this.
I'm not surprised. As a matter of fact, very soon they will say that he's too tall to contest as president. I'm not surprised. Look, like I said, for us, it's dead and buried. We have moved on. Whoever is not satisfied, let them go to court.
Okay, now.
Because, look, if the Cambridge, if they publish not just his own results, the results of all those who are in the same class with him. A lot of us, somebody told me yesterday that so many of them who are alive will be unhappy because we know that many of them were not very brilliant in school. And he was joking with me. He was joking. But you see, on a more serious note, I don't think we should waste very valuable time on a matter that is so trivial as this.
Well, let's move to a matter that is important. If you say that this is trivial,
yeah.
Let's move to something that, both your candidate and the candidate of the PDP signed in Abuja just very recently, as recent as last week, and only yesterday it would seem that we're already beginning to see signs that this could be violated. You heard Mr. Fanika complaining about the actions of APC supporters, allegedly, in Katsina State, in the convoy of the president. Do you really think that your candidate or your party will be able to, have a leash on its supporters in the wake of that agreement that is signed to help prevent violence in this forthcoming polls?
I don't think the violation of that agreement started yesterday, or started with the stoning, or with the alleged stoning of the president in Katsina. Where were you when Ayo Fayoshe of the PDP, on behalf of the president, ran that advertorial in which he wished Buhari dead? That advert alone is capable of inciting one part of the country against the other. That was, I think, if you ask me, who started violating that accord, it was the PDP, by that reckless, thoughtless advert.
You did say
Having said this, we issued a statement yesterday. We condemn violence in any form. But I'm not saying that it's right even to retaliate. But in the way, in 2 days after the accord, wasn't the APC office in Rivers State bombed? 2 days after the accord, want our members in Benue State attacked? But we are not saying this. You see, what we said from the beginning was that for this accord to hold water at all, there will be sincerity of purpose on the part of all stakeholders. That we will continue to educate our members that violence does not solve the problem. That a party that wants to come to power does not need violence. Because all these people need is something to postpone these elections. I saw some characters here about 2 days ago who are trying to canvass why elections should be postponed. We know that this government is not willing to conduct this election. The reports they get daily is that they are going to lose, and they've been looking for every reason. Even the so-called, even the infamous DSS report that we are trying to hack into the INEC base was part of the plot. And I'm happy this morning that INEC was reported as saying that nobody can hack into their system. So we as a party, make no mistake about it, we will not tolerate, we will not condone violence.
Actually, I think it's very important to state that people are entitled to their opinions. And if people believe, just a moment, sir, if people believe that, this country, the survival of this country is at stake, because the candidates that have been presented by both parties, I don't know if you saw Professor Bolaji Akinyemi's letter to both candidates before the peace accord. It would look like it's a lose-lose situation for the country, perhaps the need for that particular peace accord. Some people still believe that that peace accord was not strong enough. Hence, the advocation, or they are advocating that, these elections be postponed. You cannot lump those people.
Absolutely.
Just a moment, sir. You cannot lump those people as members of the PDP, even if the PDP also wants that as well. They are entitled to their opinions, are they not?
Absolute crap, with due respect. What are they talking about? The country had 4 years to prepare for elections. INEC, the umpire says, they are ready for elections. Political parties say, we're ready for elections.
Are you scared that if your candidate wins, there could be violence in some parts of this country?
Was that a reason one should not hold elections? So if some people want to go and burn down this country, if my candidate wins, so we should not hold election. When are we going to hold the election?
Don't human lives mean anything?
I'm asking, you have not answered my question. Is that why we should hold the election? Listen, nobody should blackmail us. Nobody should blackmail Nigeria. When are we going to know that they would now be patient enough that they will not burn up Nigeria? Wait a minute, what are we talking about? That because some people will not be happy if a candidate wins, therefore there will be no election. Listen to yourself.
But I'm not sure that that's the reason that those who have advanced have given. They're just asking, what if that happens? What will your reaction be? But now we've got your reaction.
Listen, I've listened to all their arguments.
Okay.
And I say this. Let INEC come out and tell us they're not ready for elections. But why go and pay people money to come and appear on television stations to come and canvass for a situation that we know it happened before? It led Nigeria into trouble.
Unless you have the proof that they were paid money to go and appear.
Let them consider they were not paid.
All right, but we have a question before we go. Imam Akbo says, please ask Alhaji Mohammed, why can't Buhari get a certified true copy instead of a brand new statement in 2015?
Well, the answer is very simple. When you lose your certificate, you go to your school. And then your school will bring from his own archives a copy and give to you.
Okay. Gabriel also says that he didn't see the computer printout of the Cambridge results. It was not displayed in the front pages that we read.
Well, I saw it. And
Okay.
if he goes to Priamtas, he will see it.
Okay, well, we have to go. We're really out of time. I'd like to thank you very much indeed for coming on this morning. Alhaji Mohammed, the National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. Well,
No way of the All Progressives Congress.
All Progressive Congress. And rightly so. Thank you for correcting me there. Well, we'll also expect the spokesperson of the PDP to be here and respond to all of this. Alhaji, thank you for coming this morning.
Chamberlain, thank you very much.
We'll be back after this. Join us again.